Okay, so I'm going to explain Starling's theory of fluid dynamics to you. I'm going to use this paper towel roll that I found to represent a capillary. So when I'm talking about this theory of fluid dynamics, it's going to be about a few pressures, okay? There are 4 pressures that I'm going to mention. And when I'm talking about these pressures, there are a couple words that pop up quite often. And when you hear these words, I want you to think inside the capillary or outside of the capillary. So the first word I'm going to mention is plasma. That's going to be coming up a lot. When you hear plasma, you think blood, you think inside the capillary. The second one is tissue. When you hear tissue, you'll think outside of the capillary and the surrounding tissue, okay? So the 4 pressures involving Starling's theory are as follows. The first one is the plasma inside blood, plasma hydrostatic pressure. So the hydrostatic pressure is going to be the driving force that is going to push the fluid through the capillary, okay? The next one is another hydrostatic pressure, but it's the tissue hydrostatic pressure. This is going to be the surrounding tissues, okay? And this is going to be the pressure of the fluid in those surrounding tissues. And this pressure is usually negative, and it's going to pull fluid into the tissues. The next one is the plasma, okay? Back into the blood again, inside the capillary. Plasma colloidal osmotic pressure. Colloidal just means protein, okay? So this is going to be some proteins that are inside the blood that help draw and siphon fluid into the capillary. So this is an osmotic type action, okay? And the 4th is the tissue colloidal osmotic pressure. So this is going to be tissue surrounding colloidal. We're going to have its own proteins, and it's going to be drawing its fluid from the capillary into the tissues. So those are the 4 players. So now, if we take this and split it up into the arterial side here on this side of the line, and on this side is the venous side, I'm going to talk about the pressures at each side. So on this side, the arterial end, the plasma blood, right, inside, the blood hydrostatic pressure is high on this side, okay? It's very high. And the tissue, the surrounding tissue, colloidal osmotic pressure is very low. So because it's high on this end, the capillary end, it's going to be trying to push fluid out, okay? And because the outside surrounding tissue osmotic pressure is so low, it's going to draw fluid into the tissues. So you have a net movement of fluid out of the capillary, okay? Because the pressure is trying to push out, and you have an osmotic pressure that's very low. Now, on the venous side, you have a plasma hydrostatic pressure that's very low. And this is pushing some fluid, but not as much on this end as the arterial end. Now, this is going to be very low, okay? But on this side, on the venous side, you have a plasma inside, plasma colloidal osmotic pressure. It's very high. So it's going to be drawing, those proteins are going to be drawing fluid into the capillary, okay? Drawing fluid from the tissues into the capillary. So the net movement there is fluid into the capillary. And those are the 4 pressures and the movement of fluid from the venous side to the arterial side to the venous side with Starling's law of fluid dynamics.